Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Jeff Solon, and I'm proud to welcome you on behalf of the Cheshire Public Schools, but most importantly, the students of the Cheshire community. We are excited to forever recognize an American hero and Cheshire Public Schools graduate, Colonel Harvey C. Barnum, Jr., for his contributions to our country and this community. This morning, you will hear from many community leaders who will speak to what naming this school after Colonel Barnum means to our community. Before we do, however, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank some people who worked very hard behind the scenes to make this event special. Please join me in thanking from O&G Builders, George and Jonathan. Thank you, gentlemen. From Tecton Architects, Jeff Wazinski and Justin Hopkins. From the Cheshire Public Schools, Giovanna Wynn and Luther Miller. Thank you. And of course, our friends from Because of the Brave. Thank you. Before I move on, I want to take this moment to acknowledge all of our veterans and service members who are in attendance today. Thank you so much for your service to our country and for joining us to celebrate and recognize Colonel Barnum this morning. Thank you very much. I want to welcome our flag bearers from the Boy Scouts this morning, Ryan Lee-Wack, Zachary Lee-Wack, Jake Planetta, and Will Weldon. Thank you for being here, boys. So to begin our program, please welcome for the Pledge of Allegiance our local Girl Scouts, Hannah Doty, Evelyn Edwards, Bethany Giampetro, and Emma Grotadoria. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, girls. And now, from Cheshire High School to lead us in the national anthem, please welcome Diana Byers, Sage Falcone, Peyton Grove, and Katie Pagalaro. And leading the group, Mr. Greg Bell, our choral director. Ladies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job, Rich. Thank you, ladies. Please welcome the chair of the Next Generation School Building Committee, Mr. Rich Gussenberg.
Good morning, everybody. Before I begin, I'd like you to just take a look at the picture behind me. That's what the school is going to look like in not very long. Just to orient you, That picture is the front of the building which faces Marion Drive. We're standing on the side of the building right now in an area that will become our preschool. The steel work behind us is a classroom wing. So you need to come back over the next several months to see our school actually grow and develop. 2 years ago, the Next Generation School Building Committee began working with the architects and others to design a distinctive building that would be a source of pride for the whole community and serve the town of Cheshire for decades to come. Our plan was to create a building that would reflect a part of the uniqueness of Cheshire. After much input and discussion, we created the exceptional building rising at this site that was purposely designed around the theme farms and fields. After all, our vegetable and bedding plant farms and apple orchards define some of what makes Cheshire a very special place. Early on, a group of parents, students, and staff created a vision for the school, which reads, "We're doing this for every child and the future of Cheshire community, so that they can feel a connection and sense of belonging to their school community and ultimately be drawn in and love learning." Each area of the inside of the building is part of that theme, with students progressing from kindergarten in their caterpillar corner to grades 1 and 2 at the butterfly field, to grades 3 and 4 in the barnyard, and finally grades 5 and 6 to the open pastures. This is the Cheshire that Colonel Barnum experienced as a boy growing up here in Cheshire. We're very proud of the design of this building, feel it will provide a wonderful environment for student learning. But a school building alone, no matter how well designed and inspirational, can fully shape the children it houses. No, that shaping takes place with the commitment and coordination of parents, teachers, and the entire community. And that's why the members of the Next Generation School Building Committee are pleased that our new school will be named the Barnum Elementary School after U.S. Marine Colonel Harvey C. Barnum, Jr. His life and career will serve as a constant reminder of the importance of sacrifice, honor, commitment, and caring for your fellow citizens. In the coming year, thousands of children will move through this new building, and we hope each of them strives to emulate the life of Colonel Barnum. Colonel Barnum, we thank you for your service. We proudly welcome you back to your home here in Cheshire, and we look forward to a day in September 2026 when we will throw open the doors to the new Barnum Elementary School. With that said, let me introduce Ms. Samantha Rosenberg, Chair of the Board of Ed, who will discuss why this naming is important to our students. Sam?
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Cheshire Board of Education, myself, Mr. Gripple is here somewhere in the background over there. It's my honor to welcome you all to this historic, and I want to just underscore, historic occasion, the official naming of our newly constructed elementary school after Colonel Harvey C. Barnum. This naming is far more than ceremonial. It is symbolic, it is intentional, and it carries deep meaning for our students, our community, and our future. Colonel Barnum, your extraordinary service as a Medal of Honor recipient, a Marine, and a lifelong public servant embodies the values we hope to inspire in every child who walks through these doors: courage, duty, resilience, and humility. At Cheshire Public Schools, our mission is to nurture students to think critically, act responsibly, and serve their communities with heart and purpose. Your life's work offers a living model of that mission in action. On a personal note, this moment holds profound significance for me, and as an immigrant and refugee of war, I understand deeply what it means to seek freedom and safety. My father also served, not in this country, but in Cambodia. And I know firsthand the sacrifice that is made, not just by those who wear the uniform, but their families as well. Naming the school after you, Colonel, is a tribute not only to your service, but to every individual and family who has given of themselves to protect the freedoms we often take for granted. For our students, this building stands as a daily reminder that greatness comes not just from achievement, but from service, not just from strength, but from values, and not just from history, but from living examples like yourself. Thank you, Colonel Barnum, for your presence here today and for your extraordinary life of service. It is our privilege to honor you in this way and to ensure that generations of Cheshire students grow up learning from your example. Congratulations and welcome to a new chapter in our district's proud story. Thank you. And we will hear from our mayor, Ms. Peter Talbot.
Thank you very much, Sam, and good morning, Mrs. and Colonel Barnum. It's so great to have you back in Cheshire. I wanted to talk this morning a little bit about why it's important to residents that we're naming this school after Colonel Barnum. You know, two of the subjects that are going to be taught at this school behind me are math and history. So let's take a moment to do a little math and talk a little bit about history. The odds of being struck by lightning are 1.2 million to 1. There are 61 living Congressional Medal of Honor winners, and the United States has a population of 310 million. That means that the odds of meeting a Congressional Medal of Honor winner are 5.7 million to 1. It is nearly 5 times more likely for you to be struck by lightning than it is for you to be meeting Colonel Barnum here today. And so far we're getting away with it. Cheshire is a town of 29,000 people that can lay claim to not one, but 2 Congressional Medal of Honor winners. Colonel Barnum, born and raised in Cheshire, attended Cheshire Public Schools, graduated from Cheshire High School. He received his medal for valor during the Vietnam War. There is also Sergeant Airy Woodbury. Sergeant Woodbury received his medal for valor during the Civil War. While Sergeant Woodbury was not born in Cheshire, he moved here after the war and served for decades as a teacher and headmaster at the Cheshire Academy. He is buried at St. Peter's Church Graveyard. You know, Cheshire can claim sports legends, and we have some famous actors that grew up here, but the naming of this school will make all Cheshire residents proud, and more importantly, for generations to come, young students will attend this school that we have named after a true American hero. With our math and history lesson concluded, I'll turn the mic over to our town manager, Sean Kimball.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this historic and deeply meaningful day for the town of Cheshire. It is my great honor to be with you all today as we dedicate our new elementary school in the name of Colonel Harvey C. Barnum, Jr., a native son of Cheshire, United States Marine, and a Medal of Honor recipient. Colonel Barnum's story is one of uncommon courage, steadfast leadership, and lifelong service to our nation. On his first combat tour in Vietnam, he assumed command of a rifle company under fire, saving lives and leading his Marines with valor in the face of overwhelming danger. For his heroism, he received our nation's highest military decoration. But Colonel Barnum's legacy is not confined to the battlefield. He has spent decades championing the needs of veterans, mentoring young service members, and reminding all of us of the enduring values of duty, sacrifice, and patriotism. For the town of Cheshire, naming this new school after him is more than a well-deserved recognition. It is a commitment to teach our children the values Colonel Barnum exemplifies. It is a signal to every veteran in our community and veterans across our great country that Cheshire remembers, respects, and reveres their service. To the veterans here today, this dedication is also for you. Your stories, your sacrifices, your quiet strength, these are the threads that hold the fabric of our community together. And to every student who will walk the halls in the years ahead, may the name above the doors of this school serve as a daily reminder of what it means to serve something greater than yourself. Thank you, Colonel Barnum, for your courage. Thank you for your example to our community. And thank you all for being a part of this proud moment for the town of Cheshire. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dawn and Haley Falk from the Because of the Brave organization.
Good morning, and a great morning it is. A big Cheshire welcome to you, Colonel Barnum and Martha. Good to see you. It's a little cooler here today, Barney, than it was for your ship naming ceremony. Worked up quite a sweat at that one. I think we were 90 or 95 degrees, but thanks for the better weather. And welcome home, Barney, and to my fellow Vietnam veterans. Welcome home to Cheshire. Welcome to all of you, and welcome to the site of the new Barnum Elementary School. Cheshire Veterans Community thanks the town of Cheshire for bestowing this honor upon Colonel Barnum. Barney, what you did that December day in 1965 was rooted here in Cheshire. The leadership you showed on that day was born and formed in Cheshire. The Marine Corps just fine-tuned it. Barney also has a Navy ship with his name on it, the USS Harvey C. Barnum Jr., DDG-124, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, built in Bath, Maine. It's in the water, and we expect it to be commissioned next year, the same year the school will open. Not bad, Barney. In one hand, you hold steel and missiles. In the other hand, you hold brick and mortar. Those of us who know you, Barney, know how important today's youth are to you. Quoting you, the destiny of our great country is in the hands of our youth, the future leaders of America. You and your fellow Medal of Honor recipients espouse and teach at every opportunity about courage, commitment, integrity, sacrifice, citizenship, and patriotism. With the help of the Cheshire veterans community here in Cheshire, we look forward to continuing that effort here at Barnum Elementary School. The naming effort for this school began a couple of years ago. The young women who started the process with a request before the town council, someone I know very well, and of whom I'm very proud. Martha and Barney have been a very meaningful part of her young life. So from where this naming process started today, where it becomes official, I would like to introduce my granddaughter, Haley Falk.
As Mr. Talbot said, 1 in 5.57 million is the statistic given by the Congressional Medal of Honor Society for the chances of meeting a Medal of Honor recipient. You all are lucky to be in attendance with one, and I was fortunate to grow up with one. Here are just a few lessons I've learned from having Barney guide me throughout my life. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Take the word "I can't" out of your vocabulary. A good leader is one who listens to their people, who doesn't talk all the time, and who makes them feel their problems are going to become the leader's problem too. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly bear. And if you're going to do something, you go all in and you be the best at it. Don't talk to someone with hands in your pocket. You need to strive to do more and be more and charge on. And most importantly, the future of our country lies within the hands of our youth. These are the same lessons the youth of Cheshire will be lucky enough to learn from, and they will walk the halls of Barnum Elementary School and live up to the namesake. The town of Cheshire by far made the right decision by letting us name the school after Colonel Barnum, and I have the greatest privilege to introduce Barney now.
Well, thank you very much, Haley. I'm glad that you remembered and picked up on some of the things that I've passed on to you over the years. You know, I stand before you this morning as a grateful American. Grateful that I was born, grew up, educated, and live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. And that began for me right here in Cheshire. I lived at the corner of Glenbrook Drive and Wolf Hill Road, and right next to my neighbor, Kenny Boynton, who's here, is my neighbor. And we used to play softball on Glenbrook Drive. And if you hit the Wilcox's house or Bengston's house on the fly, you got a home run. And the person on deck to bat was the catcher. But we had a lot of good times on that corner lot. We played football in our backyard. As I said, I grew up. Of course, some people said I haven't grown up yet. I guess I should say I was raised. And I went through the school system here in Cheshire. Hummerston School, then Park Street School, that little two-room white building down behind the academy. And we used to walk up to through the academy for lunch up at Hummerston every day and back down. And then back to Hummerston School again, then Chapman School, and then my class was the second class to go through 4 years at Cheshire High School. And I was just down at Cheshire High School this morning speaking to some of the students, and I can't believe how that school has expanded since I entered it in 1954. To the scouts who led the Pledge of Allegiance, I tell you, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And to the ladies who sang the national anthem, I've got to tell you, that is probably the best version of the national anthem that I've ever heard. God bless you. Let's hear it for that. And I'm also grateful that the opportunity to wear the cloth of this great country and serve as an officer of Marines, both in war and peace. And I see some of my brother Marines here in the audience, and these are young Marines that are here in the Color Guard today. And I see Vietnam veterans, and again, I say to you, welcome home. I went on to serve 31 years in the Marine Corps, 58 to 89, 27 and a half of them as an officer. And I'm grateful that this great country of ours bestowed this medal upon me. For I've worn it for over 60 years now in honor of those great Marines and phenomenal Navy corpsmen that I got to lead on the field of battle in 1965 as a 25-year-old first lieutenant. And I'm grateful that because of this medal, I'm standing here today. If I hadn't received this medal, I wouldn't be at this podium today. And that school wouldn't be named Barnum Elementary. So people say, you know, what goes along with the medal? Well, those are a couple of them. And as I mentioned, I have a Navy destroyer that's been built. We hope to commission her in Norfolk in the spring of next year. But I use this medal as a platform to pass on how I feel the youth of this country should look at our great country and take advantage of living in the greatest country in the world. So I hope by my name being on this school that the principles of sacrifice, citizenship, love of country, service before self, courage, honor, commitment, integrity, sacrifice, all those words that embody what this medal stands for. I say this is the metal of America. This stands for the metal of America. The Medal of Honor does. So I hope that I'll be a catalytic agent, I guess, to embody those spirits that have driven me to be the man I am today. And I owe most of it to this town. Played Little League, altar boy at St. Bridget's, scouting. And you know another thing this town did for me when I was a junior in high school, I was assistant scoutmaster, Troop 51. They raised the money, the people of Cheshire raised the money to send me to the International Jamboree in England. And I was a senior patrol leader of the troop that left from New England. What an experience for a young 17-year-old. But again, this town made that happen. I got to experience my first battle on the football field here. And I remember Bud Hall, one of our coaches, at the end of every practice, we take off our helmets, and the only way you could get to the showers if you walked up and down that new football field and picked up rocks. So if you had a helmet full of rocks, and we put them in a pile, and at the end of the season, we had one big pile, and that was good because then it was easier on our elbows when we made tackles out there on that brand new field. And so, as I said, the foundation of my life is right here in Cheshire. And you know, those of you who are in building, and we look at this great structure, if you don't have a good foundation and you put walls on the foundation and then a roof on those walls, the walls will fall over and the roof will collapse. It's the same thing in life. If you don't have a good foundation and you start putting up the walls of life, those walls may fall down. So I have a good foundation, and it all started right here. It was solidified. And I learned from the people in this hometown. I can remember marching in Memorial Day parades. They used to be big in this town because a lot of warriors from World War II and Korea didn't come home. And I can remember Don Godey and Lieutenant Colonel Lesniak, Don Godey, marching in those parades. That's who I looked up to. And now, as I stand here, I hope that you look up to me, okay? Because that's what it's all about. So I am passing on what I learned as a youngster in Cheshire, and I want you to take advantage of living in the greatest little town. The betting capital of the world right here in Cheshire, Connecticut. So, a lot of good memories and a lot of good times. You know, and my dad was a fireman, and I ended up a fireman, a life member, and an honorary chief, and I see some members of the fire department out here. And you know, that's another organization that does an awful lot and doesn't get the credit that they deserve. It's just a great department, and I know my dad and I got more out of being a fireman than we ever put into it. And it was because, too, the people that came together and made that all happen. So as we gather here today on these grounds, and I appreciate the color guard and the scouts that are here. Scouting was a big part of my life. And so those of you who are in scouting, Girl Scouts now, just remember what it's all about. Work hard, play hard. Just don't let the playing interfere with the working and the studying. And those of you who sang the national anthem, keep it up. Our country needs to hear that. And ladies and gentlemen, That flag is what it's all about. That is why we are the greatest country in the world, because of the people who have fought under that flag, who have carried it across the ocean, under the oceans, and above the oceans, the far distant lands, to take on enemies that wanted to take on our country and bring us down. So that flag, as I said, what it's all about. And do not ever dishonor it. If you see anybody dishonor that flag, grab them by the stack and swivel and jack them up. Okay? That's an order. Okay. So, again, it's great to be with you, my wife and I, and friends, Ernie and Pat Hallback, longtime friends. And as I said, one of my neighbors, Kenny Boynton, is here. And I see Mr. Tony back there. Good to see you again, my friend. And he's responsible for bringing the young Marines forward to be part of this ceremony. So it's all about you two youngsters and you color guard. This is what it's all about. This is what being an American is all about, and I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of everybody that showed up today to kick this off and kick it off right. And I can't wait till 26 when we can walk through the doors and go to the butterflies, to the barnyard. Okay? I think that's a great analogy, and the youngsters will remember that. But this school is what it's all about. It's all about the youngsters. It's all about the youngsters. And the school board, I thank you for making it happen, making the school happen. And I'm honored, truly honored, to have this school named after me. And I look forward to coming back and talking to the young people. And I see some of my relatives here, David Wren and his wife. Yeah. This is a kickoff. The game isn't over yet. The game isn't over yet. We got to move the ball down the field. We got to get her completed. And I'm glad to see that nothing keeps the workers from stopping. Not even someone at the microphone. They're continuing to work, getting done what needs to be done. So again, thank you for being here. God bless you all, and may God bless this great country we call the United States. Semper Fi! Charge on!
Thank you so much, Colonel Barnum. I think there may have been people arriving here today not entirely sure of Colonel Barnum's history, or maybe why we were naming this school after this great American. But it should be obvious why Colonel Barnum was selected for this honor. What an incredible American, humble man, and a mentor for everybody, regardless of your age in this community. And we are very proud to be naming our school after Colonel Barnum. However, it is only halftime, right? The game is not over yet. Our job moving forward is to help every child and community member who walks through these doors understand why we named the school after Colonel Barnum. So the work will continue. With that, I want to take a moment again to thank Martha Hill for being here and Colonel Barnum, and acknowledge them with a special gift to commemorate the occasion. Thank you, Jeff. This is, you can see that.
Oh, that's great.
So that is a framed poster commemorating today's events. So near or far, you will always be remembered for this moment. So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. With that, that concludes our ceremony. We do want to set a moment here to take some photos. So if our flag bearers don't mind remaining here for a moment, and Colonel Barnum, if you would be so gracious as to just join us for a moment with Miss Hill, we'll take some photos to commemorate the occasion. Okay. Congratulations and thank you, sir.
Good. Thank you.